Covering news where you live. This is 5 News.
Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Tiffany Lee.
And I'm Joe Ellison. The group working to get abortion on the Arkansas ballot in November has filed a lawsuit against the Secretary of State's office.
It comes after the Arkansas Secretary of State disqualified the proposed amendment last week. Arkansans
for Limited Government says the Secretary of State's rejection is unlawful. The Secretary of State's office denied the ballot measure, saying the group failed to submit documentation about paid canvassers.
Jeannie Diaz says those documents were submitted and the office failed to perform an initial count of all signatures submitted.
Was saying you're missing this sheet of paperwork that's typically given to us, even though it's not required by statute. And because of that, we're disqualifying you. And that, is actually unlawful. So that it has really informed how we have proceeded since receiving that letter last week.
AFLG says they've asked for an expedited process to settle the matter before the election. They also contacted the Secretary of State's office, and they have no official statement on the lawsuit at this time. Well, it's day 3 of the Republican National Convention, where former President Trump's pick for his vice president, J.D. Vance, is expected to make a speech.
All eyes will be on Milwaukee tonight, but leading up to this speech, some notable Arkansas Republicans already took the stage to deliver their speeches.
Now, the list includes Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Republican governors have been leading that fight and doing what Joe Biden refuses to do. We've deployed the National Guard to the border. We've cracked down on crime and drugs. We cut taxes to give hardworking Americans a break from Bidenflation. And we empowered parents with universal school choice across the country.
Well, Senator Tom Cotton also took the stage to address the convention with a message of support for the former president and his work on border security.
That's our choice. A secure border and an immigration system that works for all of our citizens, whether your ancestors bled with George Washington or like Manuel in Arkansas, you just took the oath of citizenship, or Joe Biden's chaos. Donald Trump said, you can't have a nation without borders, and he defended those borders.
President in history.
Well, the convention continues through tomorrow with former President Trump expected to take the stage with a speech as well. Meanwhile, Arkansas delegates at this year's RNC are pledging all 40 delegates to former President Trump.
This comes days after an assassination attempt at a rally in Pennsylvania. Many at the convention, like Lieutenant Governor Leslie Rutledge, are seeing stronger support for his candidacy. But not all Republicans agree, including former presidential candidate and Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson.
I'm not there yet. I still have trouble with the character. I am very pleased, though, that he's come out with a different tone since this last week attempt on his life. And I hope that new tone carries on into the fall.
Some delegates say that security is noticeably higher, but they feel safe and secure walking around the convention. We'll have more news in just a minute.
Yeah, but first, there's some rain in our area. Let's check in with Bella to see how long it's going to stick around.
Well, we are seeing that really rolling into the afternoons. It will help to keep temperatures on the cooler side for today. You can see our highs peaking in the 80s for a lot of us, about 86 in Fayetteville and Poteau. The only 90 we're seeing pop up is in Fort Smith, closer to about 91. A few lower 80s out there as well for our peaks for today. So it is going to stay on the cooler side. We are watching for some strong wind gusts. Mostly those are happening in the morning before starting to cool down throughout the day and calm as we get our cold front to move through, bring in some more dry air. That's helping to push a lot of these showers off to our east, but we will see another round try to pop up a little bit later in the afternoon and evening. Some of these could be severe, but most of our active storms have already passed by. So we're watching these 4 locally heavy downpours, but mainly staying on the calmer side, just dropping quite a bit of rain over our heads. Overnight, that will clear out and we'll start our Thursday with a few spotty showers for the morning before we really start drying up. We have a few more rain chances trying to work in a lot later into the weekend, but we'll have a few very dry days to help calm things down for us, and that's sticking with some cooler temperatures. We'll likely see the 80s for at least the next week or the rest of the week, and then even dropping down from those high 80s towards low 80s by the weekend when we see that second round of showers, trying to work back into the 90s in the River Valley before dropping back into the 80s for the start of next week.
All right, thank you for that. Well, the Fort Smith Board of Directors voted to raise the water rates because it was costing the city, they say, more than it was taking in. Now directors are promoting Project Concern.
It could help people keep their water bills paid. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer shares how much it could cut bills down.
Watched us grow.
Russell Bragg has lived in Fort Smith for around 36 years. He saw that last water rate increase back in 2011.
I have a pretty good feel for what's going to happen to my bill.
He's been heavily involved in this conversation, and he knows some in the community will need help with these higher costs. So he brought an idea to Director LaVon Morton.
We've got to figure out how not to just keep raising the rates. You can define it as the people that are working really darn hard but just can't quite get over the top.
On Tuesday, the board voted to raise the federal poverty level they follow for Project Concern from 165% to 200%, meaning more people meet the threshold to apply.
There are some difficult times, especially with the inflation that's occurred recently.
City Administrator Carl Gefkin says this program has been around for a while and he hopes more people sign up for it.
Our poverty rate has been decreasing, but we still have a good-sized population that are in poverty. I'm hoping that our residents avail themselves of this program.
Around 770 people use the program currently, but directors say there should be more, as the poverty level is around 19% in the city.
18,000 people that technically have the opportunity to qualify. Director Andre Good had a great point. We have to do it by neighbors helping neighbors.
And listen to this. Those who are approved could see a 50% reduction in their water bill and their sewer bill, and a 25% reduction in their solid waste and sanitation bill.
How do we work with them as we keep raising these rates and things we got to do to meet our bond covenants and to meet the laws in the state of Arkansas?
In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
Directors say they hope to grow the eligibility even more in the future.
To see if you qualify or to learn how to apply, visit 5newsonline.com. Those are some of your top stories on this Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us.
Catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more. Have a great day.